my name is Ben Jones and I'm the goalkeeping coach here at Bethesda Football Club. Today I'll be teaching you how to take a goal kick, and in doing so I'll be breaking down the skill into a number of steps. The main purpose of the video really is for beginners who are looking to learn these steps in taking a goal kick, but also for those that have previously mastered the skill in being able to return to this video as a point of reference to further improve their kicks. Today I've got Adam here with me, who's recently joined Bethesda Football Club as a goalkeeper. He can be regarded as a beginner and he is currently struggling with his kicks. So I'm going to be using him as a working example throughout this video in leading up to taking a goal kick. The first step involved in taking a goal kick is the approach to the ball, so other people might call it a run-up. And a problem you see often with goalkeepers, they get off to a bad start because what they do is they approach the ball and then plant leg, so I'm right-footed. In this case, my left leg will be my plant foot. For left-footed people, it would be the opposite. So you can see here that my leg is very close to the ball. So as I'm striking the ball, there isn't much distance at all between the plant leg and the football, and that can become a problem, and I'll show you why later. So, with the approach to the ball, what I suggest is 6 or 7 yards back, so you can generate power when you run it. And then I'd say 2 or 3 yards to the side of the ball. So in this case it's to the left side, so my foot. The reason I ask you to take 2 or 3 yards to the left of the ball, you watch now as I'm approaching this ball, Adam, my plant leg is wider from the ball, so that it's a good 2 yards safe away from the ball. And what this allows is, essentially, as I'm approaching the ball, it allows me to elevate my hips as well as my knee. And what this allows is, it allows me to get under the ball. So when we're taking goal kicks, we're looking to get some flight on the ball, as well as distance and power. But this is a significant contributing factor here, because first of all, I need to be able to get under the ball. So I'm bending my hips and my knee, and I'm getting under the ball. And a big mistake as well, you see often with goalkeepers, so they've got this hip back, they've taken a few steps to the left-hand side, but they often try and rush the runner. And what this does is, it puts you off balance. You need to take a measured run into the ball. You're taking the time to take a few steps to the left-hand side of the ball. So your technique's there, but they rush it. So what I would suggest is just a calm run-up. And it allows you to get all these factors in. It allows you to bend the hips down, bend the knee, and get into the ball. But you're not rushing it at the same time. It's more measured. So now that you've seen me giving you an example, essentially, I'd like to put that into practice, so if you'd like to do that, try one. Okay, so what I would say is great technique. On this occasion, you managed to get the elevation in the hips and the knee that you do need. What did you think back to that? So what did you need? 1, 2, 3. That was it, exactly. So you've done everything right. You just rolled it around a bit too quick, that's all. So then, how I address this, just a calm jog, and you're there. So as we look at the approach to the ball in greater detail, you can see here, once I've taken a straight run up, my plant leg is nearly stuck to the ball almost. It's about an inch away. And what this does is it makes it difficult for the kicking leg to be able to get underneath the football and creating the leverage we need here for the goal kick. So one aspect strikers often say is keep your knee on top of the ball, it keeps the ball down. But in this case, we're actually hoping for the opposite. We need the knee to be behind the ball in order for the kicking leg to be able to get underneath the ball and create that leverage we need. And you can see this in action here, because once you take a wider stance, the plant leg becomes more than just a few inches away from the ball, and then the knee also becomes behind the ball. And this allows us to create the leverage we need, the flexion in the hips and the knee, which is needed to take an effective goal kick. So now that we've considered all the fundamentals involved in the run-up leading up to the goal kick, we now need to focus on the point of contact, both in terms of the boot and the ball itself. So in terms of the boot, it's important that we hit the ball down the side of the foot here. So we're not looking for any lace shots at all. We're putting emphasis on this side of the foot here, the open end if you like. And then in terms of the foot itself, the best advice I can give actually is that it needs to be pointed down and away from the ball. And the point at which you need to hit the ball needs to be at this gap here, in between where the floor and the ball meet. Right there.
Okay, so now that we've learnt the fundamentals in taking a goal kick in the step-by-step process, it's important you get the chance to replicate this into as near as a game situation as possible. So what we've done is we've got a few practice techniques here that you can go away and do yourself and put these together with the steps learned today and hopefully become better at taking goal kicks. So we're now going to put all these steps together and make it as replicable as possible into a game situation. And so for a beginner, I'd recommend the goal kick distance itself being about 10 yards from goal to begin with, and then you basically put all these steps together in creating one final goal kick. So I'm just going to demonstrate this now. Okay, so it's a nice measured run up, bending at the hips, and you're over. Okay Adam, so what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to attempt this, and we'll see where we go from there. That's good, well done, really good. Okay, and then so as the athlete progresses and gets gradually better, you can start increasing the distances. So for people that may be further along the learning continuum, we can actually incorporate some other activities, which I will show you now. Okay, so for people that may be further along the learning continuum, it may be more beneficial to make these tasks more difficult and complex. So we've got here a setup whereby it's identical to a game situation really. If you look out to the right over there, I've got Robin who's going to shout for the ball as if you were a teammate, and then I'm obviously aiming to get the ball out to him. So exercises like these can be practiced in your own time and can be very effective in replicating this into a game situation. So I'll show you an example of this now. Okay, so in order to be able to cope with the changing environment demands in the game, you could move the position of the ball, for example. So here I've switched sides. This may be more beneficial to someone who kicks with the opposite foot as well. So I'll just demonstrate this. I've again got the teammate here, replicating it to as much as a game situation as possible. What I would recommend is for you to go away, depending where you are on the learning continuum, you can practice this in your own time, and then maybe even in a couple of weeks practicing this every day, you may be able to go from Adam's situation, who's a beginner, to someone further along the learning continuum, and then being able to take goal kicks just as you would in a game. Okay, so now that we've reached the end of this session today, I just think it's important to recap on how things went. So how do you think it went today, Adam? What did you learn?
I learned that you're standing like a few yards away from the ball, and